Rex! Rex, where are ya? Gotta show you something. We trip to Finke in 2021. Yeah. Up on the couch. Make yourself comfortable. This is going to be one hell of a ride. Here's my bike, the Jekyll. It's a Honda Africa Twin 2020 model, adventure sport with the DCT and electronic suspension. Top of the range, brother. This will be my maiden voyage on the bike. I just bought it second hand from a bloke in Melbourne with 6,000 Ks on it. The only change I've done is I fitted the crash bars. Oh, got you. Look, mate, it's you. Oh, look at me. So good looking. Yeah, good boy. Time to hit the road. Let's rock and roll. I'm just leaving Port Macquarie now. The total distance out to Alice Springs is 3,000 Ks. I allowed myself 4 days to get out there. So that's 750 Ks a day. Should be easy. I had a late start. It's already 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So my destination for today is Dubbo, 600 Ks away. This part, I'm just the other side of Newcastle, heading towards Singleton. You can see the clouds are getting a bit dark. Even though it wasn't raining, it was still cold. Remember, this is June, winter, bloody cold. Just near Singleton. I've still got 300 Ks to go to get to Dubbo. It's already started raining. It's pitch black. At one point my visor fogged up and I got dazzled by the lights of an oncoming car, so I tried to pull off the road. I lost my balance and dropped the bike. Thank God I put those crash bars on. The bike was too heavy to pick up, so I had to flag down a car. It was actually a young player that stopped for me. He was a top bloke. He helped me pick the bike up, then we travelled together for the next 100 Ks. I just stayed right up his ass following his tail lights. Everything's ice cold. You can hardly see anything. This is the worst time to ride. What do? Gotta do 3,000 Ks, gotta keep going. Ended up getting to Dubbo at about 10:30 at night. It was freezing cold, everything's wet, the ground is wet, so you know there's no point setting up a tent. So what do? So I had a smart idea. So as I was coming into Dubbo, I saw a sign for industrial area. So I went in there, drove around until I saw a factory. They had like a nice veranda at the front. So I parked up under the veranda, laid my sleeping mat out, rolled out my sleeping bag. I just crawled into my sleeping bag, and then I thought, should have got the GoPro, should have filmed it. But I was too tired, too cold. I said, stuff it, I'll leave it to the morning. Buongiorno, this is Ningen, about 160 k's west of Dubbo. I had a shit night. I hardly got any sleep. My sleeping bag was not thick enough to keep me warm on this freezing night. That's what happens when you buy a sleeping bag from the op shop, you tight bastard. Then I got woken at 4 o'clock in the morning by a truck driver doing an early morning delivery. He's like, "What are you doing there, mate?" Must have thought I was homeless or something. I said, "I'm a long distance motorbike rider heading out to Alice Springs." He seemed a bit pissed off, so I said, "I'll pack up, I'll go." I packed everything up, and before I left I said goodbye to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah mate, you could have stayed there." I'm thinking, yeah, thank you, you could have told me that before. Anyway, I went down to Macca's and got some breakfast and a coffee, then hit the road at about 6 o'clock in the morning. It was still pitch black and the sun didn't come up until after 7. I'm just turning onto the barrier highway here, which will take me straight through to Broken Hill and then on towards South Australia. Broken Hill is my destination for the day, 754 kilometres. I've got 8 layers of clothing, but I'm still freezing my balls off. Just coming into Cobar, it's a mining town in western New South Wales. There were a heap of old cars in town, must have been a charity bash on. I was thinking what I wouldn't give to be in a nice warm car right now. This is the road between Cobar and Wilcannia. There are heaps of wild goats out there, so you see a herd beside the road, so you always got to constantly scanning, watching. But the goats aren't too bad, they actually stay off the road, not like a kangaroo. Kangaroo just jump out in front of you, doesn't give a shit. Trying to keep me hands warm. Thank God for heated grips. I had them on the maximum level 5, and it was like they weren't even on. But after a few hours, they dried my gloves out, and then it was good. 55 k's from Wilcannia, just at the rest stop, and just checking how many k's I've done so far. $1,119. Still about 300 k's from Broken Hill. It's cold. Look at that, blue sky. At least it stopped raining, but it was still icy cold, and a strong southerly wind. It was like buffeting you. You're riding on the side like this constantly. Boom, boom, boom. And when you're trying to overtake a truck, that was deadly. Yeah, you pull out to overtake a truck, you get beside him, you're nice and protected. Then when you get out in front of him, bang! The big gust of wind would hit you and like shoot you straight across the road. One time I jumped about a meter. Whoa, where you going? Ain't you listening? What? Come back! This is the full-on outback now. Look how dead flat it is, and there's nothing out there, just that wild bush. There's no farms, no houses, nothing. So if you break down and get a puncture, you're in trouble. You gotta fix it yourself. I just stopped here to take a drink. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm still about 180 k's from Broken Hill. And I'm not camping tonight. I'm going to stay in a motel. I want to get a hair dryer, dry my boots out, dry my socks, wash my socks, and get a good night's sleep. Warm, good night's sleep. So gotta find a motel when I get into town. I was lucky. I got the last room available in the place. Basic room, but good enough. That's all you need. I just went to Coles to get some supplies. Then I have to get some juice before I hit the road. I was so grateful to have that motel room last night. Had everything that I needed. Had a hair dryer, so I was able to dry out my boots. Did some washing, so now all my clothes is clean and dry. And it was in a great location, right in the center of town. So I just walked around the corner. There was a good pub I found. I had a delicious meal. I went back and had a good night's sleep. So, good choice. I didn't really have any destination for today. I was just trying to make it as far as I could. Maybe Cuba Beatty, but that's 950 kilometers from Vancouver. So, we'll see how we go. Headed to South Australia now. I was a bit worried about getting across the border because remember this was in the COVID times when borders were locked down. So I'd spoken to my mate Keith, lived in Peterborough, so he gave me his address. He said if the cops hassle you, just tell me you're staying with me. So, but luckily there was no coppers there, so I got through, no worries. Take a look at the tree there blowing in the wind. That's how strong the wind was. It was like gale force. I'm loving the Africa Twin, and with the bag on the back seat, it's like I've got a backrest. It's very comfortable. Having support for your lower back on a long ride makes a huge difference. Yeah. Still on the Barrier Highway heading west. In less than 100 k's I'll be turning right and heading north. Finally turned off the Barrier Highway and headed north. So this stage I'm going through the Flinders Ranges. It was good to, hit some corners after all those straight road sections. Look at me. What an idiot. I didn't even know how to use the top box lift. You can leave one side connected and just open it up like that. But I was still learning. It was my first trip. That's the road I just come from that brought me through the Flinders Ranges. Now it's just a straight run north to Alice Springs. I've got the wind at my back now, so it should be a much more pleasant riding experience.
Hello mate, how are you?
Oh no! Busted by the jacks! You idiot! Ah, what? We're only halfway through.